The research is clear. Spending positive time with your children leads to better outcomes in physical health, child development and mental health, school performance, and even improved health in adulthood. The TREE program, developed by the Maryland chapter of the American Academy of Pediatrics, guides parents on how to have fun with their infants and young children in ways matched to their stage of development. Let's look at how you can effectively talk, read, engage, and encourage your young children, thereby creating an environment filled with positive childhood experiences and memories. Throughout this presentation, you may wish to pause the video to think about the questions being asked before proceeding to the answers. Think about your own positive childhood memories. What stands out? These illustrations show how babies and young children communicate. What do you notice about how they are communicating? On the left, we see a young infant vocalizing by cooing. In the middle, we see an older infant using nonverbal gestures to communicate with an adult. At that age, they can use nonverbal actions to communicate and can even use some sign language. On the right, we see a young toddler beginning to verbalize and use words. They typically understand things you say before expressing themselves. Young toddlers start with single words. Older toddlers use short phrases and then full sentences. They may also use jargon that sounds like they are speaking a foreign language. Where does your child fit in? Can you think of fun ways to communicate with your child based on where your baby fits developmentally? Here are some ideas. Use everyday experiences, cooking, eating, cleaning, shopping, driving, diaper changes, and bathing, to talk together. Narrate what your child is doing, like a sports announcer. For example, "This truck is red and now you are moving it back and forth." With young infants, use high-pitched parentese to get your baby's attention. For older infants, use gestures like waving for hi and bye, holding arms out for pick me up, pointing, and even some simple sign language. For young toddlers, name people and label objects. Encourage jargoning and playing show-me games like, "Can you point to the ball?" For older toddlers, encourage their language by playing tell-me games like, "What's that?" Ask many questions. Don't forget to sing with your baby. These are all effective ways to bathe your baby in language, starting when they are very young. Your baby's development will change quickly, so think about how you will communicate as they grow. Using some of the ideas we talked about, what new things will you do in the next few months to communicate with your baby? Reading together, starting when your child is an infant, is a wonderful way to spend positive time together. It helps instill a love of reading. More importantly, it's a wonderful way to be loving with your baby by holding, cuddling, and hugging them while reading together. Here are some tips for reading with your baby. For infants, start early and read together regularly even if they don't understand the words. Read in an excited manner and use the time to cuddle together. Let infants handle books and turn pages. They may want to put the book in their mouth or read the same book repeatedly. It's not necessary to read all of the words. Instead, focus on playfully pointing out pictures and keeping it interactive. For young toddlers, name and label objects in the book and play show-me games like show me the picture of the dog. With older toddlers, play tell-me games like, "What is this picture?" Ask your child lots of questions about what you're reading. Playing is a meaningful part of childhood. Playing together with you will create positive experiences that impact children for the rest of their lives. Look at this set of illustrations of young children. These illustrations show how young children play with objects. What do you notice about how these children are playing? Starting on the left, we see a young infant mouthing an object. That's how young infants explore. Next, we see an older infant with a guitar. Older infants become little scientists, moving from exploring with their mouths to their hands, experimenting with how objects work. The young toddler playing with blocks shows how children this age begin to understand that objects have function. The child playing with a doll illustrates how older toddlers use imaginary play to explore their world. Think about fun ways you can play with your child based on where they fit in developmentally. Here are some ideas. For young infants, use safe objects that they can mouth, like pacifiers and rattles. Let older infants examine, handle, drop, roll, and bang household objects such as balls, blocks, cups, spoons, and pots and pans. Young toddlers enjoy playing with objects that have function, such as blocks, stacking rings, and crayons, as well as cause and effect objects such as pop-up toys. Older toddlers love to play with objects that foster imagination, like stuffed animals, toy figures, dolls, cars, and dress-ups. When playing, let your child take the lead. Watch your baby's cues to see if they want to play. Are they attentive and having fun, or are they fussy, sleepy, or looking away? How can you tell when your baby is engaged or disengaged with you? Think ahead about how you will play differently as your child grows. Remember, screens can't replace the fun of playing directly with your baby. What new things will you do in the next few months to play with your baby? Encouragement is a powerful way to build your baby's self-confidence. We call it vitamin E therapy. When encouraging young children, focus on effort instead of accomplishment. For example, rather than saying, "You are an amazing artist," say, "I love the way you worked so hard on your drawing." When children are praised largely for accomplishment, they may give up early if they think it won't be good enough for praise. Conversely, praising them for effort builds their self-confidence. Talking, reading, playing, and encouraging have powerful effects on your child now and for the rest of their lives. Use this precious time together to create wonderful experiences. Remember, always seek assistance from your pediatric provider if you have any concerns about your baby's development. Here is some vitamin E therapy for you. Being a parent or caregiver is hard, but you obviously want to give your best to your child. The good news is that you can do this. Give yourself a giant hug.